Hi, I'm Ebony. I'm one of the speech pathologists here at Prosper Health Collective, and today I wanted to chat to you about keyword sign. So it can be really difficult, especially with young children, when we don't understand them or they don't understand us. So one tool that I always tell families about is keyword sign, and it can make a really big difference, not only for children who have hearing difficulties, but really for any family who want to enhance their communication skills and make it a little bit easier to understand each other at home. So what is keyword sign? It's a method where we put hand gestures with keywords when we're speaking. So in a sentence like time to go to school, you might use your hands to show the sign for go and school. So you might say time to go to school. And that's to help your child understand those key words that you're trying to get across. You're probably imagining the sign language that you've seen on TV, especially during major emergencies, and that is Australian Sign Language, otherwise called Auslan, and that's its own complete language. It has its own grammar and sentence structure, and it's completely different to spoken English. And fun fact, if you didn't know, but Australian, American, and British sign languages are actually all completely different. So there's no universal sign language. So keyword sign is not Auslan, Australian Sign Language. It's more of a tool that focuses on using signs just to show a few keywords or ideas in a sentence. And it does follow the spoken English rules. Why does it help? Well, it's very similar to how we adults use our hands, as you're seeing me do now, to point or gesture while we're talking, just to help people understand what we're saying. It's like I caught a fish this big, or leave it over there. Those kinds of gestures just kind of help the person understand what we're saying. And just shows what we mean. So it's that visual element, and it's just an extra way for our brain to get information and understand what we're being told. So while it's not a complete language or meant to replace speaking, it's a great method for just highlighting keywords to help our child understand what we're telling them and understand the needs. And I do find it can be helpful for learning new words and growing vocabulary as well, because having that extra visual element really helps the child focus and pay attention to a new word that you might be saying and you might be teaching with the sign. Who can benefit from keyword sign? It's not just for children who have hearing difficulties or differences. It can be an effective tool for just young children who are still learning to talk. Gives them an extra way to communicate for themselves or to understand what you're telling them. It's great for young children who have any communication challenges. They might have unclear speech, or they might have a language delay. Again, having that extra way of communicating helps reduce frustration. And it can also be great for multilingual families. Sometimes the keyword sign can help bridge that gap and help improve understanding, because sometimes it's difficult when young children are learning more than one language as well. I think it's a common misconception that using sign or using gestures is only for children who are deaf or hard of hearing. And in reality, that's not the case. It can be used with any child. And it's also not a replacement for spoken language. I think a lot of parents are concerned that if they do use a sign with their child, or their child uses sign at home, that means their child's not going to learn to speak. And that's definitely not the case in what I find in my practice. Speaking is much more effective and a lot more quicker than signing. So often what I find is the child will use the sign when they need it. And once their skills have reached a certain level and they're confident, you often see the sign kind of drop off and the child continues speaking on. So it's really a helpful tool just to enhance the communication at that point in time. If I was to give some practical examples of how to use keyword sign at home, I would suggest maybe meal times. You could have signs for common food items or meals that you eat. You might use the signs for eat and drink, or you might label and learn the signs for the particular foods that your child likes. But eat and drink are really great ones for your child to know, so they can let you know when they're hungry or thirsty. I'd also recommend in daily routines. So when it's time for bed, you might use sleep. And that helps your child know and anticipate what's coming in the routines, so they're a little bit more aware and not caught off guard. Lastly, I would say emotions are a really great one. So teaching some basic emotions, happy, tired, that helps your child express how they're feeling a little bit more accurately, especially because we know that when children are frustrated or tired, their cognitive power, their ability to think and then say the words that they want is really reduced. So having a sign can be a really great tool for when your child's a little bit grumpy and irritable as well. So incorporating keyword sign might be a really great tool for your family. It doesn't mean overhauling how you speak or interact as a family. Just including maybe a few simple signs that are meaningful for your family might be enough for you. If you'd like some more guidance, or you think your child would benefit from seeing a speech pathologist, you can always reach out to us at Prosper Health Collective. And if you'd like to find out more about keyword sign, you can go to Keyword Sign Australia, who have really great resources and can help you learn more about it. Thanks.